Hello, learners. I can see Ashkin and Tejasvi. Hello, both of you. Can you guys hear me? आप लोगों को मेरी आवाज़ आ रही है?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. आप लोगों से request है, can you please turn on your camera? We can have a quick discussion.
1 minute, sir.
Okay, let's start the discussion with Ashkin. Hello, Ashkin.
Hello, sir.
कैसे हैं आप?
I'm fine, sir.
Okay, okay, nice. So, both of you and those people who are joining in, we are in week 4. So
Yes,
one
sir.
third part of the course is over, and so how is it going for you, Ashkin?
So it's going pretty well up until now.
Okay, थोड़ा आप इंट्रोड्यूस करेंगे? I couldn't recall. What are you doing?
Oh, sir. I'm doing BSc Biotechnology from Ramaya University of Applied Sciences in Bangalore, and I'm currently a third year student.
All right, all right. So Ashkin, have you been able to submit all 3 weeks assignment?
Yes, sir. I submitted. I just left one assignment, and rest three are submitted.
Okay, great, great. So you have seen your marks as well, all going well?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, nice. Have you been able to go through the content for week 4?
Yes, sir. And I solved the assignment also for week four.
Good, good, very nice. All right. Uh, we have, thank you, Ashkin. Huh?
Yes, sir.
Meanwhile, do you face any challenges या फिर कोई issue हो रहा है, anything which you would want to share?
No, sir, not up until now. Like it's going easy only for me.
Okay. थोड़ा मैं जानना चाहूँगा, I mean, along, so your classes are also happening and this is something which you are doing in parallel, right?
Yes, sir.
So do you get a slot in your timetable that, okay, this is the time where you can, attend NPTEL lectures, or is it that, you have to manage your time and you get back to your home and
No,
then
so we have to manage our time on our own because like this subject counts as one of the core subjects in our semester, so we have to do it in parallel.
okay, but you don't have any time schedule in your timetable, in the college timetable.
No, no, sir.
All right, all right. Another thing I would want to know is that you go through the lectures on a tablet or on a laptop or even on your mobile.
It's a laptop, preferably.
Okay, okay. Fine, Ashkin, thank you. We have Tejasvi. Hi, Tejasvi.
Hello, sir.
Please briefly introduce yourself and then I'll have some questions.
Actually, I have graduated doing BTech Mechanical from VIT in 2020. Currently, I'm actually working uh, here in Pune.
You're
Actually,
working in Pune.
right.
कहाँ पे आप काम कर रहे हैं?
It's a startup like BTS Lab. Basically, I work as a robotic mechanical engineer, defining how we can construct a particular thing.
Okay, nice. So is it that you are attending this session for the first time, Tejasvi?
Yes, actually, मैंने course भी थोड़ा late join किया है. I have joined 3 weeks late, so I have missed my assignments. Currently, I can able to do the week 4
All
currently.
right, all right, all right. तो तेजस्वी, क्या मैं जान सकता हूँ कि what is your motivation to join this course?
Actually, the thing is, aside from working for the Incubation lab, I have also invested in one of the startups. It's called P0 Solutions. It's from a senior in VIT only. So I have working there for past 2 years. We have been progressing really well, but I think so. Like if I could able to grasp this incubation and entrepreneurship program, if I can able to understand it more, then I could able to assist him more further.
Hmm. Nice, nice. So, Tejasvi, you said that you have missed your first three assignments. True?
Right.
Okay. Have you gone through the content for all these 3 weeks?
Actually, I'm catched up to week two. I'm still working on that. I'm working to it.
Okay, okay. And so, which means that you have not gone through the content for week 4 as well, right?
Yeah, I would be starting hopefully by tomorrow or the after tomorrow.
Okay. So one thing, Tejasvi, is that although there are 12 weeks, so there are 12 quizzes or assignments, and only 8 best assignments will be counted. Okay. So in case you are planning to get a certificate from that perspective, I'm telling that, at least 8 assignments need to be attempted. Okay. So since three have already gone, probably you have a chance to, cover up that. Are you looking for the certificate as well, the credits and, final certificate?
It's not for credits for me as far as the final certificate is basically for grasping this whole entrepreneurship thing.
So it's more towards understanding the content and, taking learnings.
Right.
Okay, okay. Okay, Tejasvi, I welcome you once again for this particular course. Okay, so I'll start sharing my screen and we'll proceed with the session. So since only two of you are there, please, one of you can inform me when you are able to see my screen, and I would please request an active participation from both of you. Okay. Can you please tell if you are able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thanks. Thanks. So, hello everyone. My name is Abhishek, and we are today here at week 4 for our course on understanding incubation and entrepreneurship. The course instructor is Professor VK Chakraborty, sir, and I am the teaching assistant for this particular course. I am pursuing my PhD from IIT Roorkee, and before that, I had been into teaching. I had my own startup, as well as I have worked as a faculty in different design institutions. So, outlining the general agenda for the course, I mean, initial few slides are the generic ones, which I have been repeating in the previous weeks as well. The idea is that anybody who is joining in late, as we have a case today, one should be aware of, what we are talking, how we'll be proceeding in the sessions. So these sessions are mainly to help you in the current run of courses. Okay. So there is a course being run in the current state. We are in week 4. The first 3 weeks, our content has been already published. The assignments have been published, and even the results have been published for them. Okay. So from, let's write it down. So week 1 to week 3, the content, assignments, as well as the progress. Progress, or you can say the marking. So all those who have attempted the assignments, they would have got a marking to it. So उनके number भी आए हैं. So these are marked out of 100. So probably, one would be getting anywhere in the range of 0 to 100. Okay. So in these particular sessions, so these are called live sessions. The idea is that anybody who is a learner who might find certain issue in understanding the content, or as well as to prepare them for the weekly assignments. So what we do is that we conduct these sessions every week, 5 to 7 on Saturdays. The idea is to discuss the questions and the queries, as well as attempt 10 set of questions which are probably in a similar format in which your assignment is, and we have a discussion. We try to understand the viewpoint, the thought process, and then we try to understand what is the correct answer to it. We shall also discuss and solve previous year assignments. That is something which I already told. Respond to the questions and queries posted in the discussion forum. Just to mention once again, discussion forum is something which is available on the NPTEL platform. Okay. So anybody who has a doubt, any question, you can post that on this particular discussion forum. It says ask a question and you can post it. So all the learners who are in this particular course will be able to see that question. And when I'm answering to the question, that answer will also be available for all the learners. Okay. During the live session, I mean, these are certain basic ethics which I request all to follow. You can please put your mics on mute. Okay, so if you have any questions, you can unmute and you can ask. You can raise your hand, you can ask. The idea is that we are recording these sessions, and these sessions will be put up on YouTube, so that if a learner is unable to attend, like many of I can see many faces not present here, so they can click on the link and they can go through the content and this session whenever they have a free time. um, I've already informed in detail about discussion forum. It is a platform which is provided by the NPTEL team. The idea is that anybody who has a question with respect to technical issues or content related issues, or queries in with respect to anybody's startup or a case study, you can post it there, and this is how one ask the question. So by clicking here, you are able to post your question. Okay. Recording and presentation location. Like I mentioned that these sessions are recorded, they are put it upon YouTube. Uh, you'll be able to see these sessions under my name, and there is also a section where through the NPTEL portal you will be able to see this. Within that there will be something called as July 2023. When you click here, you'll be directed to a Excel sheet. Okay, and this Excel sheet has both the link for the session as well as the PDF. So all these annotated PDF is also uploaded, just in case somebody wants to go through only the PDF, that can also be done. So course preview, like I mentioned, the course name is Understanding Incubation and Entrepreneurship. It is being conducted by Professor V.K. Chakrabarty, who is from IIT Bombay, and who is also heading the Design Innovation Center there. Okay. The course is a 12-week course. It started in 24th July and it will be ending in 13th of October. To mention, the week 4 deadline is 23rd of August. So you have almost a week's time, probably less than that, 4 days, to submit your week 4 assignment. The final exam date is 28th of October. So you have time for that. And the examination happens in a physical mode. So if you are appearing for the exam, it will be a 3-hour exam. You can make a selection of pre-lunch or post-lunch. You can also select a center. So there will be 3 choices for the center which will be requested, and you can select them and you will be allotted depending upon the availability of seats there. Okay, this is an important section. So if you have been following the content closely, and if you have been attempting the assignments, you would probably be able to see the scores on all these 3 assignments, because the results for them are out and the last date for attempting them is also over. So this is the section where you can assess your progress, how well you are doing with respect to the week wise content, understanding the content and attempting the questions. Okay. Now, this is important for those who have taken up this course with respect to certification, and who have a academic requirement where the credits will be counted. So all those where there is a credit requirement, especially in case of academic context. So the one thing is that anybody who wants to take learnings from this course, it's free for them. Okay, so anybody who wants to learn more about incubation, entrepreneurship, who has an idea, who wants to understand how to take it off, what are the different incubators, what kind of service they offer in terms of developing that particular concept, and pitching it to the right people. So for them the course is free. However, if you want to earn a certificate, that requires an examination, right? So like I mentioned before, the examination will be conducted in a physical mode. There are certain designated examination centers, uh, you are asked to, put a choice, top three choices, and one of them is normally allotted. Uh, the certificate comes at a price because there is an examination fee which will be happening in a physical mode. It's 1,000 rupees. The last date initially was, I think, 18th of August, and this is the revised date. Okay, so if you have still not registered for the examination, I request you to do it immediately. Uh, Ashkin, have you registered for the exam?
Yes, sir, I have registered.
Okay. Did you face any challenge while, submitting the form? Because I had a query on the NPTEL. Somebody had a issue.
Yeah, so like the verification of photographs and all, I had a bit of issue, but yeah, like I got it done.
Great, great. Fine. Thank you. So the registration might require some bit of an effort because, they request your photograph. They also request you to have an ID card, ID proof. All right. And they also request for signature. Okay, now all these things have to be of a particular size. I think it is between 50 KB to 150, something like that. There is a range. Okay, so this requires some bit of an effort because you have to take a picture and then you have to customize it to the upload specifications. So this process will take a while, so I would request whoever is viewing this lecture probably later on as well, please try to submit and register for the examination. Prepare all these documents so that your registration process is quicker and seamless. Okay. This is important for those who are doing this course for a certification perspective. This is basically the marking criteria. I mean, this also explain you what are the technicalities of getting a certificate. So overall, the examination is of 100 marks. The 100 has been divided into two components, which is 25 and 75. 25 is for your internal assessment, what we can say. So internal means all your assignments. Okay. So whatever assignments week wise you are submitting, those are your, the weightage is 25% of it. And as I said, the best eight will be considered. So out of total 12 assignments, the best eight will be considered for this evaluation of 25 marks. Now, the remaining 75 marks is something which will be, derived from your external assessment, or you can also say it as the physical examination. Okay, so physical examination, like I mentioned, will be conducted at a designated center. You have to go there with your stationery, you have to attempt it, and you will be getting certain marks from it. Now there is also a pre-criteria to it, that overall this total score, that means 25% weightage and 75% weightage needs to be greater than equal to 40. Okay, and there is an individual catch here as well. So the assignment wise, the score needs to be more than 10, as well as in examination it needs to be more than 13. So if you're following the content, after viewing the content, you're attending the examination, I think your score will definitely be above 70 to 80 if you're going through the content. So that should not be a problem in that case. However, these are certain basic criteria which needs to be fulfilled in order to get a certificate. Okay, so this is how we have been progressing. Week one, week two, week three, week four. Week one was basically an initial introduction about entrepreneurship. We talked about GDC and what are the reasons why startups fail. Week two talked about journey of Mustafa and how ID Batter came into existence. What were the initial hiccups which they faced and how they progressed. Then there was a panel discussion with the incubatees who are into a startup journey and what are the problems they faced, their journey, and how what kind of suggestions they would be giving to the people who are moving into this direction. Week three was about the methodology of innovation, where Professor Chakravarti talked about the seven C's or the seven concerns, starting with the cause and ending with the connect. This was followed by a session on team building, and there were certain case studies for example, for the Falke project, and then was additional learning material, ALM. So coming to week four, which had been released in the previous week, It talks about the ideas program at DSSE. कोई बता सकते हैं what DSSE is? Anyone? DSSE. Yes? Anyone? Oh, we have got Sujay also joined. Hi, Sujay.
Hello.
Sorry, I think, okay.
Hello. Yeah. Hello, sir.
Hello. So, are you joining in for the first time?
Yes, sir. This is my first problem-solving session.
Okay, great. So I'll just pause for a moment and I'll try to understand you because when we start a session, we try to have a quick introduction from the participant. It helps me as well as the other participants to understand, what kind of diverse audience we have. So if you can tell us your name, your affiliation, I mean, whether you're working or you're a student, and what motivates you to join this course. Yes.
Yes, sure. Thank you. I'm G. Sujay Kumar, working as assistant professor in Annapurna Institute of Technology from Mechanical Engineering Department, actually. And also, I'm a manager. I mean, I can say in charge of incubator in our college, and also innovation activity coordinator of IIC. Institutions Innovation Council. And now I'm handling around 10 to 12 real-time projects in our college, and yeah, mainly design. First, I started with the design thinking and innovation NPTEL course. Then organized boot camp, and also a resource person in that same field, and that actually made me to learn more and more about the things. Now I'm applying design thinking in many of my projects. And still, I'm just eager to learn a lot of things. The thing is, entrepreneurs. So those things make me more curious about the things. And I think I took a great decision by joining this course. I'm just learning a lot of things.
Okay. So, Sujay, which college did you mention? Sorry, I could not recollect where you are assistant professor.
St. Professor, this Annapurna Institute of Technology, Mangalore, Karnataka.
Bangalore. Okay. So, Sujay, have you been able to go through the content from week 1 to week 3? I mean, were you possible?
Yes, sir. From the introduction to week 4 now, I'm actually doing it. First session yesterday, I finished actually. First, Mr. Love. He just explained about the team and all. So that introduction, I finished. So yet to, because one of my relative is already this one in hospital, so I'm in hospital, so I couldn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, take care. So, were you
Yes.
able to submit assignments from week 1 to week 3?
Yes, sir. I got 100%, 100 this one.
Oh, that's very nice.
Yes, yes, sir.
Nice.
Thanks.
So, you are able to get time apart from all these activities and these situations. I think it's very admirable.
Ye- Yes, sir. I mean, yeah, I'm really, it's very interesting sessions, and I'm more curious to learn a lot of things out of it as I'm doing most of the biomedical projects. So I think next coming sessions, it's about, I saw that actually biomedical sessions related to biomedical there were, so definitely.
Sure. So I'll reshare my screen and so is my screen visible to both of you?
Yes, sir.
Great, great. So I was asking about what DSSE is. Could anybody tell? DSSE, Desai Sethi.
So, Center for Entrepreneurship.
Great. So it is something which has been set up by the alumni of Which IIT? IIT Bombay. Okay. So Week 4 also covers quite in detail about the solar oven case study, which was basically a project of IIT Bombay MD student, and he shares his journey of how he started it as a project, what kind of challenges he faced, how he shifted his target audience from what he had initially conceptualized to a different one, as well as how he translated a academic project into a startup. So it's very interesting, and this was followed by a 1.5 hour video on the IIT Hyderabad students project, wherein they are working in different teams. Each team is having 3 to 4 or 5 participants, and all of them are quite diverse in nature, because that was something which was informed to them in the previous sessions, that you make a team which is much more diverse, and all of them are working on certain areas for which they were kind of defining their problem areas, and some initial ideas and sketches, which was basically being given certain feedback by Professor Chakrabarti and Dr. Sari. So both of them were kind of evaluating, giving them certain suggestions, and the students were also trying to let them understand what they have conceived and what is it that they're working on. In terms of additional learning materials, there were a couple of videos, and then there was a PDF case study. So if you get more time, you can obviously go through it for more deeper understanding of what customer discovery is and how one can go about it. So like I mentioned, there are two typology of questions which you will see if you have attempted the questions. And so let me ask, so Ashkin, which soft drink do you want? Tell me. So you have got four options. All right. So the idea of these two typologies is to make users understand that in this particular typology of question, there will be only one answer which is correct. And in this typology of questions, one can have a multi-select, which means there could be multiple correct answers. Okay. So if this is a question, then only one answer will be correct. So either I can choose this, or I can choose Pepsi or Fanta. So one of them. If I have a checkbox kind of a question, what do you want in your milk tea? I may, select ginger, sugar, and milk. All right. So this is how the two typologies are there in most of the assignment-based questions. However, in the final exam, it is up to the instructor, what kind of questions he shares. So that is something which we cannot, convey or commit as of now. What kind of questions would come in the final examination. So this slide is basically about the marking of the multiple choice questions. If you have been going through the assignment, I think it would be more or less clear to you. But just to repeat it in terms of any new audience. So if there is a multi-correct selection option, and if you have selected all the correct responses, full marks will be given. So if at least one incorrect answer has been chosen, then no marks will be awarded. For example, there is a question and it has three correct answers. Okay. And the correct answers are, say, for example, A and C. Okay. And D. But while attempting the question, what you do is you say A is correct, B is correct, C is correct, and D is correct. So although you have selected A, C, D, which is correct, but you have also selected B, which is an incorrect answer. So in this scenario where there is an incorrect answer, you will be given 0 marks. Okay. So be aware of that. I mean, this is something which can be helpful while you are attempting a final examination. So keep this in mind. So only if you select the correct options, you will be getting partial marks. Say for example, in this case, okay, in this case, options A and C are correct. Okay. However, when you were submitting, you chose only option A. You didn't select option C. Now, in this scenario, you will be getting partial marks for option A. Okay. So these are some basic, principles which have been, laid out in terms of attempting the question. And this was something which was shared to us by the NPTEL team in the previous year. So it is based on the previous year inputs, and that this is how the marking is there. If you are getting marks in decimal points, which means that there have been certain partial correct answers, and for which you have been given that marks. Great. Okay. So we start with our very first question. I would want all the participants who are present, please do an active participation so that we take most of these sessions. So the question is, what are the key objectives of setting up Desai Sethi School of Entrepreneurship DSSE at ID Bombay? The options we have are to give structure and support to early stage entrepreneurs, to provide funding for the startups, to provide mentorship with experienced entrepreneurs from the alumni pool. So alumni is basically ID Bombay alumni, and to derive peer learning amongst the cohort members. So Pushkin and Sujay, you may please share your responses. What you think could be the correct answers. So there, it is a multi-select box. So you can get multiple correct answers here. The key objectives of DSSE. DSSE. Yes, please.
That is option A, B, C.
Okay, so you got one vote for this, one vote for this, and so that was Sujay, right? Okay, Ashkin, you there? Ashkin? Okay. So, Sujay, you have gone through the content, and on the basis of that, you are, answering this.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, okay.
Actually, it was started by the alumni. I mean, every 25 years they meet together and they make some decision. And this time, or I think they made it 1999 batch or something. They took this decision to make funding for the budding entrepreneurs and also for mentoring the entrepreneurs. I think so.
Yes, 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 you're very correct. So basically, what IIT Bombay does is that they have an alumni meet every 25 years, and in principle, what they commit is that they will meet and they'll try to put in some money for some initiatives or setting up new centers, and that's where this TSSC came into existence. So you're very correct on that. So talking about the options, the first one is to give structure and support to early stage startup, which is correct. The idea was that to help and guide the early stage entrepreneurs and startups in terms of what kind of support they might need. Now, let me come back to the B option later. C option is to provide mentorship with experienced entrepreneurs for the alumni pool. So yes, IT Bombay had alumni in diverse organizations, and that too very much diverse in terms of geography as well. All right, so you have people from IIT Bombay alumni, and not only in India but across the globe. They have been working into different associations, different organizations, institutions, and carrying different designations with them. So the idea was to take leverage of that diverse and rich alumni pool who can actually guide all these entrepreneurs. So in terms of answers, A and C seem to be correct, but then if you see the list of correct answers, there is option D which is correct instead of option B. So option D says to derive peer learning among the cohort members. Now, peer learning is also a very important characteristic. What we mean here is that say for example, the DSSE might be having 3 to 4 uh, startup teams or early stage entrepreneurs who are working on different ideas. The idea was that the peer learning is also there, not only within the team but also across the team. So within the team also there could be a learning, and then there are multiple teams who are working on different startup ideas, from there also, from their journeys, from their failures and challenges, the other can also learn. So that was something which was the idea. However, it does not mention specifically about funding of these startups. Okay, so they mention that instead of providing funding for the startups, they help them connect with like angel investors and Y combinators. Okay, so by themselves they are not exactly funding. Okay, Sujay. So DSSC is
Okay.
not funding the startups directly, but they will help the teams to pitch to the angel investors and to Y combinators. From there, they will the startups and the teams can get funding. Okay, so you were partially correct here. Hmm. Okay, let me just so okay, so we both are here. That's fine. All right. So the second question is, what is the goal of DSSE, which is the Desai Sethi School of Entrepreneurship for teams in level one, which is basically a 3-month program. So they have level one as well as, if you remember, they have got level two program as well. Okay. So here they're asking what is the goal of DSSE? Only one answer is correct of them. Can you try attempting it?
Uh, yeah, sure, sir. Yeah, actually, 3 month program they explained about. I mean, it will be a very early stage where we are going to successful team for
Mhm.
to make the idea successful for the team.
Okay, so let me read out the options and the
Yeah.
question once again. What is the goal of DSSC for teams in level 1 3-month program? First is to make the idea successful for the team to take it forward. B option is to make startups successful by offering initial funding. C is to make the team successful in implementing how to do customer discovery. And option D is all of the above. So, option D says, all these are correct.
Okay. It's option. I have confusion in option A and C. So
Okay, okay.
it's idea successful for the team to take it forward. No, it's option A only.
Okay, okay. And how were you able to conclude between the two, A and C?
Because there were two level. One was level one 3 months program, and level two was a 12 months program where they were going to build a prototype,
Hmm.
ready, and all. But first 3 months, they will be like to properly they are going to build a team and that idea to make successful. So with diverse this one they are going to build a team. I think so. That's right.
So let us go to the options one by one. Let's start with D. So D is all of the above. So anyways, it will come at the last. So C option is to make teams successful in implementing how to do customer discovery. Okay. B option is to make startups successful by offering initial funding. So funding, I think in the previous question only we were quite clear that they do not offer initial funding.
Yes. After yes.
They only help them prepare the pitch, and the teams will be pitching it to different funding agencies. From there they might get
Yes.
funding. Okay. Now option A says to make ideas successful for the team to take it forward. Now I would like to tell here that although it is very close to the correct answer, but uh, they are not making the idea successful. Okay, it is the team which will be reworking. Now what DSSC is doing is they are just trying to ask the right questions. Okay, they are asking the
Okay.
right questions in terms of who your customers are, what is the kind of evidence you are having. So instead of they working with them to make the idea successful, basically they are guiding and mentoring the teams to rethink, to
Okay.
brainstorm, and to come up with the ideas. So your dilemma was correct. I mean,
Okay.
option A and option C. So their
Okay.
focus is mainly on the customer discovery. As a
Fine.
as a as a as a center, what they are trying to do is they are motivating all these startups, because that has been a very critical case where the product and market fit is not happening. Okay.
Okay.
And that will happen only when you have a good understanding of the customers. Okay. And
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
where
Okay.
and that's where they are
I
emphasizing on customer discovery. Yes, yes, please.
actually I implementation. I thought like implementation will come in the next level. So I mean, I implement. So that I think I get confused with that.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, okay. So actually, in the level two program, their idea is to target customers in terms of with the prototype building and all those things. So that is
Yes.
their the next level. In initial level, they are trying to to ask the participants to go and talk with their customers.
Okay. Sir, I have one doubt. Yesterday, I was listening to the first session, and actually, sir told like first we need to build a team, proper team, then we need to go for a idea. But so what happens sometimes? We build a team. Okay, if I'm a mechanical engineer, one more guy is from electrical, and another guy is from electronics means. Now, when we were discussing about the idea or we come up with some problems, then the solution will be it's a software-based solution or any app-based solution. So at that time, we need I mean, computer science background expert. I mean, those who will be good in those things. So I mean, once we get the idea, then we come to know the requisites, who and all experts are required. Then, if we build the team, whether so I have that confusion. Actually, yesterday I got that confusion. So which one will be better? Whether go with the idea. I mean, first, if I am having any idea, and then I go with the experts who are required for that idea, or I mean, first building the team, then find the idea for a solution. So there is some dilemma.
Yes. So even when I was going through the content, even this question triggered to me as well. I mean, how this will work around. But let me tell you that Professor Dr. Sareen is basically sharing his point of view, and it is from the basis of his experience of in this field. He is suggesting that you should come up with a team and then work on an idea. All right. So now it is
Okay,
a personal opinion of an individual who has been in this particular area of entrepreneurship and startups, and on the basis of that experience, he is saying that teams are important, probably for the reason that he would have seen startups wherein there is one member with an idea and they have been trying to form a team, and the team is not doing well, or they are not able to align the interest. Okay.
okay, okay,
So it is from that perspective he is sharing this insight. However, there may be a possibility wherein you have an idea, you know your own skill sets, and then you try to figure out that okay, I probably am a mechanical engineer. I need somebody from the marketing team so that I could market it well. So you get a person from there,
yes, yes,
and then you might as well need a coding guy who's able to create a website of it or interfaces for it. So that kind of scenarios might also work. It's not a case that those startups are not performing well. The only challenge which happens is that how much dedicated all the other members are for your particular idea. Okay. So the dichotomy happens only when say for example, if you are sitting together as a team and then you are trying to ideate or come up with certain ideas, probably everybody feel that they have made certain sharing and they have been looped into the idea. But what happens is that when you have your own idea and then you try to pick and identify people, they might not have the same kind of passion towards that idea, and that is maybe a trajectory which leads to team failures and people backing out later.
okay,
So like I said, I mean, it's the opinion of Dr. Sareen based on his experience. Uh, Maybe we might feel that the other way around can also work. It might work in certain cases. There are
okay,
outliers.
fine.
It might work. I mean, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So let's continue with our question. So it's a set of 10 questions, Sujay, and one by one we'll be going through all these questions. Okay. So the third question is, what was the initial target user for designing the solar oven as mentioned by Avinash? Okay. So the options you have are people in the rural areas, residents in the tier 2 cities of India, residents live in bungalows, and high-rise building resident who lives in the urban areas.
Yeah, it's option D, high-rise building residence.
Okay, so you are saying high-rise. Okay, let us go through one by one. I mean, we are talking about initial target user, right? So initially, can you tell me what was the concept or idea he had?
Yeah, I mean, our conventional solar cooker was there. So that was actually they are using in rural areas where plenty of space will be there in front of home and all for the use. But after that, once in apartments or the high-rise building residents, so there actually they don't have much space, and in the balcony, if they want to keep means all the buildings may not be having balcony and all. So the thing was to keep it in a window somewhere they can accommodate in a window so that they can have a yeah that cooker can be redesigned for that one. Right.
So basically, this was their idea and concept. What they were doing was uh, they were aiming for their user base in the high-rise buildings, wherein they might have a balcony or might have a very little balcony, but normally they have windows, and how we can capture those windows was the idea. Okay, so
Okay.
basically they hit upon the idea that Windows AC are mounted and we can leverage that particular fixing detail or that kind of uh, opening there which could be used for the solar ovens. And that's where was the initial target user that let us reach out to the high rise people. They might find it quite easy to install. It won't take any space in the inside space, but yet you can get a solar cooked food.
Okay.
So if you're able to understand my sketch, I mean,
Yes, understood.
this is the outside and this is the inside apartment. All right, all right. So you're very correct on this. Full marks to you for this particular question. Okay, okay. Let's go to the fourth question. According to Professor Lavsarin, where should an entrepreneurial journey ideally begin? The options are: it should start with the idea, it should start with the team, it should start with the first elevator pitch, and it should start with the MVP, which is the minimum viable product.
Yeah, it's option B only. This, as we discussed, start with a good team.
Okay, okay. So the correct answer is it should start with the team. So can you tell me, I mean, what kind of challenge you were facing when you saw this particular answer to be correct?
Actually, yeah, in our college also, I built team of students. So while in that way,
So
if some
you are
one,
basically guiding that team, or you are also a part
yes,
of team
no, many teams I'm the part as a mentor and guide also, and
mentor?
I also do some work related to my mechanical it comes and some of the sensor based if it is related to sensor building and all. So I also involve in that
Okay,
directly.
okay, nice.
So, so those things when I was doing, so main thing is even both things I experienced. Some teams will come and they start one project, and in the middle what will happen is one or two will be like they are not that much interested in that topic because two of them are interested in the discussion they were interested in the beginning but after that they lose interest after some time and I just rebuild the team with the same interest. So that was one thing. And sometimes one student will come, sir. I'm having the idea. I mean, I observe this problem like that. I just I will not go with the solution. I just send him for a survey or some who is primarily, it's not in depth. It's a very immature survey, you can say. In the beginning, what we say,
Very initial
we
stage.
go with, yeah, a very initial stage. I send him. Then, when it's confirmed that that is a problem which already customer or a user is facing, somebody is facing, means then I just analyze those things. I sit with him and we try to get the people who can be the part of this team. So like that, I am doing now. So those things.
So based on your experience, because you said that you have already been, guiding and mentoring teams, uh, would you say that, building a team after having an idea works well? I mean, have you seen that happen?
Yes, sir. I mean, it's going well. I mean, from last 1 year, they are doing it. I cannot say I still didn't get to the stage where I can take them to the startup or entrepreneurship, but a successful prototype building we did already.
Oh,
So
nice, nice.
like that.
I mean,
So
they're
that's why.
scaling up well, huh? They're shaping up well.
Yes, they are. Like they build the prototypes, all those things. I think the first, both are actually somewhere they are good, but we cannot say in all the cases, all the both the things may work or may not work. It's sometimes it go with the mentality of the student actually sometimes in our case because they are not much I mean they are not that much can say mature to go with the entrepreneurship mindset. Those things were not there. Only the thing is to make a prototype, build a prototype. So those things will be there.
Correct, correct. Thank you, Sujay, for sharing that. And as you correctly said, I mean, both can work. It depends on the scenario. It depends on how the team is, how motivated the team members are, So,
Yes, and the things.
yeah, yeah. So both can equally work. Great. Okay. So yes, I mean the option B is correct, which is to start with a team. And let's proceed with our fifth question. Okay, so the fifth question is in module 4, the solar oven was developed to cater the needs of which kind of customers after the food festival in Ahmedabad? So A is for below poverty line group, B is low income group, C is middle income group, and D is for employees living in the government accommodation.
Actually, I didn't watch full video as I was traveling to my native. So I think part of the video I watched. Maybe it's middle income group only. Uh, Maybe
Which one?
uh,
Which one you're
uh,
saying?
middle income group,
Middle income group. Okay, okay.
middle income, uh, and employees living in government accommodation. Maybe I'm not clear because I didn't gone through this part of the.
That's fine. That's fine. So let me give you a bit of pretext to this particular scenario. So when they were making this solar oven, they were trying and testing, different dishes in it. They were cooking rice, they were cooking, sabji and vegetables. They were trying to bake uh, cakes, and so. But what challenge they faced was that not each and every dish was being, cooked to a certain degree. I mean, even the taste was differing in the initial few trials. So what happened was that this solar oven team, they were discussing this with a business guy who was from Ahmedabad, from Gujarat, and he said that instead of pitching it as a solar oven, you try to sell it as a rice cooker, solar rice cooker, and you will be able to sell a lot of pieces because you try to create a niche for that, and you just say that okay, this is for the rice cooking, and even if people are doing rice cooking there through solar, I mean they would be able to reduce their LPG cost. So from there they got the idea, and probably when they got an opportunity to have a food festival exhibition there, they went and they presented this particular concept of solar oven, And what they realized was that in the food festival, it was majorly the lower and middle income group which were coming in, as well as when they reached out to the customers, it was this particular group which was facing the heat of LPG costs. Okay, so probably all of us are aware that the cost is going higher and higher. With a world crisis and a lot of things are happening. So that is where these were the groups which faced most heat in terms of financial burden. So that's where your correct
Okay.
answers are. So middle income group and the low income group, for them, the issue of money is there. We usually face these kind of challenges, and with the, Ukraine war and a lot of things, there has been a stress on these particular fuel and resources. And
Okay.
okay, so that's where the correct answers are, lower income and middle income groups. Okay. Let's
Okay.
proceed to the sixth question. The
Um,
question is, according to Professor Lavsari, the business pitch of a product may be understood in terms of the options are sustainability offered by the product in terms of material cost, the technology of the product to produce faster results, the value proposition of product that offers to the user, and the last is the durability of the product in which the terms of built quality. How do you think?
I think the value proposition the product offers to the user.
Okay, okay, okay. And why do you think this is the correct answer?
Because somewhere it has to fit from the customer point of view or user point of view. User needs or their pain points and all that should be like we can say we need to give the solution for those things. So somewhere it has to fit with need of the customer or requirement of the customer, and I think so in that way. So
Okay,
value
okay. So
addition
if
will
we
be an important thing.
Hmm, okay. So if we go one by one, the sustainability offered by the product in terms of material cost. So why do you think it would not be the correct answer? The sustainability offered by the product?
Uh, Sustainability offered by the product, uh, maybe like the if you go to the market, there may be some of the product which will be there with the same. I mean, you can say which will be giving the solution for the same problem. But in terms of the only, I think so, like in my personal point of view, the value addition or I mean, how near to the, or you can say, users need, then that the kind of product will, I think, definitely we can reach the customer or we can reach the user in a efficient way. So that I think.
Hmm,
So
hmm, hmm,
the price or all those things may differ, or there may be some of the products which will be available in the market, but the value addition is very important in terms of uh, product to reach a user, I think. So that's why.
okay, okay. So basically the first option says sustainability offered by the product in terms of material cost. Okay. So it might be helpful for those who are basically environment enthusiast, or it might be one of the feature. Okay, so if you think from a customer perspective, for them what matters is it might be the cost, it might be what kind of features it is offering and how it is helping their life. Okay, so not many of the customers be keen towards how whether it is sustainable or not, how durable it is, because for them most important thing is what value it is bringing to their lives. Okay,
Yes.
so there are certain projects which are also use and throw, but then they are very much required by the users when they are in a specific scenarios. For example, when you are traveling, you need to or people opt for things which are use and throw. Okay,
Okay.
so the yes, the correct answer is value proposition. and what kind of value we are basically creating in our lives of the users. So that is very critical in terms of a business pitch when we are pitching in front of investor or angel investors and our client. Great.
Okay.
Let's go to the seventh question. According to Avinash, what could be the basic motivation for the target users to use solar oven for their daily cooking? Okay, so Avinash is the same guy from Harry Bombay.
Yes.
Okay, and the options you have are to have a healthier alternative to fast cooking, to reduce the expenditure on LPG gas, to eat tastier and slow cooked food, and all of the above.
Uh, Second one, I think, because as you told, that was the main, they targeted the customer or user uh, by, you can say, telling this as a, projecting this as a solar rice cooker, more than that of solar, this one, I mean, normal cooker.
Right, right. So I think I spilled the answers before only. But good that you were able to connect and relate it. So yes, the correct answer is this, to reduce the expenditure on LPG gas, because that is the section which faces the most heat. And if you look at the other options, I mean, these are also good motivations, but these are motivations only to a very selective audience.
Yes,
So there might be people who want a healthier and alternative to fast cooking, and even it might be a fact that slow cooking the food is more tastier. However, if you're talking about our particular case of Avinash, who was working on the solar oven, basically his target users were the one who were having issues with the cost of LPG and the rising prices of the LPG.
yes, that can.
Great, great. Okay. What do you use at your home? What kind of fuel? Is it the LPG or the piped gas or?
Yeah, actually, in our home, we use LPG, but actually, I build in my native place. Now it's like we are, I mean, building a new house. But in my old house, I built a small this one only wooden stove for this one with maximum oxygen supply and all for my home, this one only. In that way we are preparing. Actually it was like other compared to other wooden ovens, so it was giving the cooking time which required for cooking was a bit fast compared to those things. So something I made it before, but now we are building a home, and uh, so as we are having cow and all in our home, so I'm just planning to have a small biogas
Biogas
plant.
plant.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm planning for it actually. We built it in our college campus, one small by using syntax tank with kitchen waste.
Ah,
So yes, so that by the similar way, something I just want to.
that's very nice. I mean, you
Yeah.
even at an institution level, I think it's a very big step of utilizing the waste and converting it to. So that has been functioning in your institution for a long time.
Yes, yeah, yes. Last year only we built it like, but in a small scale. It's like a 40 liter, I can say, because there were waste, kitchen waste, and also the food which in our canteen, the
Canteen
students are
mess.
then, yeah, mess both. Actually, it was around 40 to 60 liters, and they were giving it to some piggery, this one, for that one. But
Okay.
still, there were around 20 to 30 liters they are having. So, for that purpose, we build a small, by using syntax tank, fixed dome type biogas plant.
Very nice, very nice. And so whose initiative it was? I mean, it came from the leadership or any of the faculty like you, they were motivated to start this.
No, actually, 2 years back only I started, but in between, as I told you, student left it in the middle actually. Then I took some students who are really interested in, and last year we built it. I just try to. The thing is, these small projects will just motivate other students. I mean, when it start to work, then they will be like little bit interested when it is implemented, and those students will say, see, my project, they are using it in this one. So that's why small things I try to make it possible so that they get motivated and go for a good big shot.
I think that's a very, very great move. So, in one of the sessions earlier, I mean, when I was teaching, one of our speaker came on entrepreneurship, and he said that even if you are in an institution and you are trying and taking new initiatives, then you are also an entrepreneur. And she coined the term as intrapreneur. So
Okay.
INTRA. So within institutions also, if you are taking the lead and if you are coming up with new stuff, that is also a kind of entrepreneurship. So I guess you're also doing that, huh, at your institution. Very nice,
Yes, a
very
little
nice.
small thing. Yeah.
Great, great. Okay, let's go to the eighth question. What kind of channels Avinash is willing to use to reach out to the customers in rural areas, as seen in the solar oven case study? The options are through direct distribution, through Government of India schemes for renewable energies, through NGOs working for rural development, and through social influencers. So I think, see, direct distribution is clear, wherein you set up a kiosk or a shop and you try to sell it to the users.
Okay.
GOI is basically Government of India is doing a lot of work in terms of pushing the renewable energies.
Yes, but even NGOs.
So what do you think could be the answer?
Uh, One second. Rural areas study. Mm. But yeah, as I told you, I didn't
Yeah, that's fine.
gone through this, but I think C and B and C will be the rural areas in the solar. Even through direct distribution, yes, ABC can be the answer.
Okay, so you are opting for A, B, and C. Okay. So, see, direct distribution, I think it is very clear from the statement itself that, there will be a shop or something like that, and they will be putting all the products on sale, and any user can come and basically purchase it, right?
Yes.
Option B is about Government of India schemes. So there are many initiatives which the government is taking a lead in terms of renewable energy. What they do is that they basically offer subsidies. Okay, so if you are planning to buy a solar panel kind of a thing, you might get certain subsidy. Likewise for EVs, you have a lot of subsidies. So under various schemes, this product, a solar oven, can actually come and it can be a part. Okay, through the NGOs working for rural development. So if you will go through the video, there was something called as Krishi Vikas Kendra. Okay,
Yes.
I think it was this only KVK. And likewise, there are many other NGOs who are working in different areas for rural development. So even if one ties up with them, as because they have a ground reach, they are able to connect with the users, and they have familiarity with the kind of social fabric there. It might be easier to pitch a new product like this. Okay, so if you see the correct answers, you are very much correct. All ABC are correct. Full marks to you. Social influences, it is not fitting to the context of rural areas. Okay, so it might work probably 5 years, 10 years down the line, but as of now, it is not a. It might be a use case in the context of urban, customers. Where if you had seen, there was an example where they said that they can present their product uh, in terms of a cooking show.
Okay.
So what they suggested was that one of the channel like So Cook with Sanjeev Kapoor, it's a very famous chef.
Yes.
So chef would, come in the television, for in a particular show, and it'll showcase this product, and he'll try to make certain recipes out of, solar oven. So that can also be one of the strategies in reaching out to the people, but then that target audience would be those who are keen and more interested in cooking, because only those will be watching those shows, right? And cooking shows and, eatery shows. So it might work for urban customers or urban segments, or those who are, more interested in eatery and, cooking. But in this particular context of the rural, I think it is basically through these three channels. Okay, let's go to the ninth question. Based on the solar oven case study, what are some of the pricing tactics Avinash can use to make money out of eco-friendly product? Okay, so we are talking about tactics in terms of, making certain money
Okay.
out of an eco-friendly product. So eco-friendly, they are saying, is that solar oven, when it is not, consuming any power. The only energy consumed will be while in the fabrication process, but once it is already made, then it won't require any power. So from that perspective, they are saying eco-friendly. Okay. So what are some pricing tactics? So the options are direct product sale, bulk order from the government, and government subsidies for an eco-friendly product, and flash sales and seasonal offer.
Uh, I think direct product sale, it's uh, bulk order from government. It's B, C, and D.
So this question is quite, although similar to the previous question, with what kind of channels, but let's see the correct answer. It is A,
Okay.
which is direct product sale, a bulk order from the government, then government subsidies for eco-friendly products. So flash sales and seasonal offers was not mentioned by Avinash in his case study.
Okay.
Again, it might work for urban audiences, but as a part of case study, as a part of solar oven study, they did not mention this. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Fine.
So it might be correct for some other product in some other scenario, but as a part of this study by Avinash, it was not mentioned. So he mentioned about these three channels, these three tactics basically in terms of selling the product and making the money. So which is the
Okay.
direct sale of the product, bulk order from the governments in terms of, their schemes and initiatives, all right,
Okay.
and then the
Yeah.
subsidiaries for eco-friendly products. Great. So now we come to the final question. According to Professor Lavsareen, how will we get, keep, and grow customers as discussed in the solar oven case study? I believe you were not able to go through the entire oven case study, is it?
I couldn't, yeah. That case today I couldn't. Entire video I couldn't watch.
Okay, that's fine. I mean,
Uh,
you can still,
yeah.
suggest and, make certain options. So the options are
Uh,
focus on the material, focus on technology, initiate and improvise conversations with people, and improvise product facilities.
Actually, question is not visible for me uh, on my
Question
screen.
question is not visible.
Yeah, for me on my screen actually.
Okay, okay.
Still ninth question.
Let me read this question in that case. Okay. According
Okay.
to Professor Sareen, how will we get, keep, and grow customers as discussed in the solar oven case study? Okay. So
Okay.
how can we get, bring in people, keep and grow customers? See, the options are
Okay. Fine.
by focusing on materials, by focusing on technology, by initiating and improvising the conversations with the people, and by improvising product facilities.
Third option. By
Okay. So you're
conversation with
saying
the
which
people.
is initiating and improvising conversations with the people. Why do you think this will help?
because they are end users and we are developing the product for them. And I think their feedback, their yeah, insights will be very much important for us to uh, develop a product. Without that, any product or any with any technology or anything, we cannot reach users.
Hmm, hmm, hmm. Correct, correct. I mean, you are very true on that. See, even if you focus on material, it might help in making a product probably lighter or more durable, but then, it might not help in, growing the customers. Second option
Yes,
was focusing on technology. So again, technology can help us, making a product much more slim, much more quicker, faster. But then again, it is the users which are important. Okay. So the
yes,
third option says initiate and improvise conversations with the people. So that is where our consumers are, that we need to, set up a dialogue with them, understand what their requirement is, understand, what kind of issues they are facing in that particular product segment, and likewise, and then improving our product. So, so the correct answer is initiate and improvise conversation with the people you are to hear. So well done. I mean, you were quite right on most of the answers. I must say. Okay. So are you now able to see the screen?
yes. Now I can.
Okay, okay. So what I'll do is I'll just quickly show you the questions. I mean, this is your first session, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Uh, so basically, in the discussion forum, what is happening is that the learners, if they have any questions, they are posting it. And
Okay,
in the live session as well as in the discussion forum, I am trying to reply to all of them. So it helps them in, in understanding. So there might be certain more learners who might have the same problem. So they get an answer to the question and they get benefited. Okay. So there was one user who said that he's not able to get the announcement. So what happens is that every week a new content is floated, all right, and you get a mail for that, as well as all for the live sessions also you get a mail for that. So are you getting mails for that?
yes, I'm getting.
Great, great, great. So I think this Friday, I think whenever the timeline for the question is over and probably when the week is over, they float the content for the next week. So probably week 5 content will be floated in a few days from now, probably today or tomorrow as well, right?
Okay,
There was one student who had this issue where he was unable to get the content. I mean, he was able to register, but then the videos were not accessible to him. It kept on loading.
okay.
I believe you are not facing that particular issue.
No, no, no issues, sir.
Okay, okay. So for that particular learner, what I was doing was I was, posting the individual links for each and every week, so that
Okay,
from separate links he is able to access the videos and he is able to go through the content.
okay.
And you said that you are attending this session more in terms of understanding the content. So are you also
Yes,
planning to get the certification? I mean, appear for examination?
yes. Already I registered for exam.
Oh, that's cool. So, did you face any issue while registration the process?
No, no, no issue.
Great, great, great. Okay, so I think that was it from my end. Do you have any questions or you have anything to share?
So actually, if I'm having actually the thing is the same thing. Somewhere I stuck in the prototype stage. From then onwards, whether how to proceed with that. So those things I cannot understand those things. So that's why I joined this course actually. So from idea to entrepreneur, actually from that prototype state to entrepreneurship. So how I can make it, whether we'll get any can I send any proposal? So those things are there from the IITB or you can say the so any such things are there. Then I just want to research.
Okay, okay, okay. I got your question. You're saying that you have a certain idea and you have also reached at a product stage wherein you have a prototype ready, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So, in the previous week's content, what I have seen is that there have been many teams who have got an idea and who have certain, minimum viable product with them. And what they do is that they try to go under an incubator. Okay.
Okay.
And so there have been different incubators. The GDC was one. They were running basically boot camps. Then there is this Desai school. So basically, they are being quite selective in terms of showing, what incubators, in the context of IIT Bombay. But then there are incubators at different institutions, different IITs as well, right? So if you have a product and you have reached out to your customers, if the customer discovery is also there and you have got certain insights, then my suggestion would be to reach out to one of these incubators where they can guide you for further validation of your idea and probably connect with the investment.
Okay. And if it is in a still idea stage, so what we can like whether we have to go with a customer survey with all those things, we can we contact any incubators for the thing, or directly we have to go to the incubator and whether they will suggest how to make a survey, all those things, to who are all our stakeholders and all, whether they are going to help us. So any other ways are there if I'm having
See,
a raw idea?
yeah, yeah, yeah. So if you have seen the previous contents, I think there have been few case studies. Were you able to go through these case studies wherein there was a guy who was trying to create mobile surgery kind of a thing, and then they pinpointed onto a surgical kind of a thing for only the burn patients. Were you able to go through that
Ah,
one?
yeah, yeah, yes, yes, yes. That he just wanted to make ICU, small ICU
Uh,
for this one. Then he concentrated only on
right.
that patients. Yes.
Right, right, right. So, see, what happens is that even these incubators and these support people, they try and filter out. Okay, they get a lot of applications, and while filtering out, they would see, what kind of idea you have, what kind of customer mapping you have done, what kind of, traction you already have in terms of, customer inputs. So even to get selected for with an idea under an incubator requires certain amount of work. Okay. Now,
Okay.
if you are saying that you have an idea, you might have a prototype. My suggestion to you would be to try to understand your customers, where in which this product will be used in that context. You should have that kind of need assessment. What
Okay.
is the need? I mean, if that is fulfilling, if your product is fulfilling that particular need, then you can try and capture as many as say for example, in that case only he had more than 100, 150. He showed a Excel sheet wherein he had different interviews with more than 100 people. So if you have that amount of rich information and rich insight coming from the users who are saying that okay, this is the need and your product is fulfilling the need, then I think the chances are quite bright in terms of getting incubated in these incubators.
Fine. Okay.
Yeah, so if you are
Understood.
capturing more inputs from your consumers, from your real audience, either through a survey or the students are going and meeting them, trying to do certain ethnography study. So ethnography study basically is the observational skills. For example, if I say that I'm planning to work on a furniture for leisure, okay,
Okay.
for elderly, for example, this is the segment. You know
Okay.
what I'll do is my research team will go and they will try to observe the elderly from a day in a life. There is a method called a day in a life, okay, wherein
Okay.
you try to capture the person right from morning till the before he sleeps or she sleeps. What are the different activities they are doing, how are they interacting with the other furnitures, what is the furniture they are more investing more time, whether they're lying it down completely or they are sitting more often and then reading. Okay, what kind of materials they are comfortable with, is it the wooden furniture or is it the cushioned furniture? Okay, so they will not ask these questions directly, but they would be observing it, they would be documenting it through visuals and through sketches and note making. Afterwards they might have certain questions, and asking the right
Okay.
question is also important. You do not uh, have pinpointed question in terms of whether you would need this product. Rather than that, you ask for the needs and not your product
Okay.
as a solution. Okay. So there are
Okay.
very different methods of taking insights from a customer, and if you follow these methods and practices, you start collating data, a lot of data, and then you derive certain insights, and those rich things can actually be utilized in terms of making design drivers for your project. So you will have a logical connections that okay, this was the need, this is what the user was saying, we validated it, and then another 50 users are also saying the same thing. This is how then you will add on certain features, and you will shape your products.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, and if you have all this data, the
Sure.
best way is to document it each and every stage, even your product formation and product, shaping up, as well as your customer journey. I mean, wherein the students are going, reaching out to the users, interviewing them, asking them questions. I think all these, becomes a very robust documentation process. So when you're reaching out to a incubator, and if you present, these are the methods, this is the data, and this is what I have derived, and that is where this product will fit in. I think the chances will be much
Okay.
of brighter in that case.
Okay, okay, fine. Yes, actually, I also try to do the same thing. Once old age, I sent my students group, I mean, four members to a old age home, and I told them to spend a day with in a old age home with all permission and all. So yes, that helped a lot actually. I mean, they observed and many problems. But yeah, somewhere I think I need to make a documentation also. We made it, but as I gone through the case study with last session, so then I come to know how to actually present that the things. I mean, all the observations should be there, and at the end there will be some insights which are drawn out of it. I mean, with the observation, so that will help us somewhere in a good way. I think so. That thing I will definitely start from now onwards.
So, what kind of year they were in, these students who went for the old age home visit?
Yes,
I mean, in which year were they studying?
they are in now third year. Now, I mean, from next onwards, they will be in seventh sem. I mean, fourth year.
The fourth year. Great,
Yes.
great, great. So, are they still working on it? I mean, they are equally passionate apart from their studies.
Yeah. Yeah, like they are, but we are just what actually happened is in Karnataka government there is a new age innovation network that thing is there, which in our college is also one of the incubation center. I mean, recently last year only we got selected for that, and they will fund for the ideas, but still it's under process. Now we applied for it, around 15 ideas. I made a ideathon and shortlisted 15 ideas, and it's under process. And in that 15 ideas, they select some of the ideas for funding. So that's why we are waiting for it. So this is also one of the things which we applied for. And if we get that 3 lakhs funding, so we can proceed with the thing. So that's why we are waiting. Our team actually.
Great, great. So, in the initial few sessions, there was also Professor Shah who was from Gujarat, and basically he had a similar profile like yours. He was also teaching there, and he also said that he has a certain team who's working on certain ideas, and so he basically emailed me and he requested certain hand holding incubators. So I'm not, I don't have a very exhaustive list, but in my institution, whatever I had, I shared it with him. The incubators, if you want, probably I can also share that with you. So once
Sure.
you have some certain substantial thing ready, you can directly
Yeah.
reach out to them. So with respect to the funding and guidance with the right mentorship, they can also
Yes, actually, even I don't have the experience in entrepreneurship, so that is the main thing. Somebody I need actually as a mentor to, I mean, proceed with the things. So if I get that mentorship, then definitely. I can pull our students into it in this stream so that they can also have entrepreneurship because many teams are there. As I'm only stuck somewhere, so even I think they are also. I cannot guide in this way what you are doing now. So that level, I'm not in that level. So somewhere in the prototype stage, I think after that, okay, we gathered idea or gathered insight. So what next actually with whether we did it right or wrong. So somebody we need like whether our what process we are following is right or wrong or what we can do next. So some mentorship is required, I think. So that's why I joined. I think this course somewhere I get that one and. Through this, I think I can help my students, my student teams. So they are depending on me. So I just want to help them in that way. I don't want to waste their time. I mean, I just want to come up as a entrepreneurs as early as possible because they are in budding stage. So let
Great.
them try and even though if okay, somewhere if they fail also, they will learn something in this age actually. It's the
That's
age
true.
to learn. So that's why I just want to help them. But for that, I need some help.
Hmm.
So that is the thing. So in that
I'm
stage, that
really appreciate the kind of efforts you are taking in. I
yeah,
think it
somewhere
is.
when I see see them, I just want to. I mean, okay, I couldn't at that age I couldn't get into it, but I just want them to be successful entrepreneurs. But still, I'm lagging with some mentorship, so that's why I just want to. Yeah.
Yes, yes, surely. So maybe what you can do is you can please drop me a mail, mentioning what specific requirement you have, and
Okay.
within my institution, I can discuss and maybe able to share you a couple of websites within the ecosystem of IIT Roorkee. I mean, who are hand holding and guiding things.
Okay.
The other thing which you can also do is that all the premier institutions have set up design innovation centers. Have you heard about it?
Design innovation centers. Yes. Now this one, IIT Bombay is also having.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
So most of the IITs they have design innovation centers. You can look for an IIT which is near to you. Might be IIT Hyderabad. They might have established design innovation centers. So even they are also kind of since it is within the ecosystem of a IIT, they try to connect you with the mentors from academics as well as industries. Okay, so
Okay. Okay.
even that might also help in your case.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so
Sure.
look for design innovation centers. You might find a center nearby you, and
Okay.
you might enter because like kind of DIC we have here, it is basically open to all in terms of if you have any product. So they will provide funding. They would also provide funding for making of a product. They will also help in filing patents, and they will also help with the mentorship. Okay,
Okay.
so
Okay.
TICs do aid in these things, and that is the concept by which they have been established in different institutions. So maybe this is something which you can look for in your vicinity and your proximity. And
Okay.
if you need, I can discuss and figure out what kind of things are available in my institution. Maybe I can also share that. You might connect with them.
Sure, sir. Okay. Sir, this one email ID. Your email ID.
Uh, oh, email ID. I mean, you can post your email ID on the chat
Yeah. Yeah.
box,
Sure.
huh?
Okay. I will. Yeah.
And I will, connect with you there.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure,
So,
sir.
okay, okay. So, thanks, Sujay. I think it was very nice talking to you, and the kind of effort you are taking in for students, I think that is also very appreciable. Your college is lucky to have you.
No, sir. Thank you. But yeah, it's my duty actually to help them.
But I mean, I've seen a lot of teachers, I've worked with a lot of teachers. But this is something which is extra which you are doing, right? I mean, apart from teaching, you are also learning as a student so that, you can help the students. So I think it's something which is
Yes.
applaudable, and keep up that spirit. I think I'm really happy to see you,
Yeah.
taking these efforts.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for the information and the things which you have shared now.
Okay, okay. And
Sir,
best of luck, best of luck. Yes, yes.
and problem solving sessions will be, sir, in every after 2 weeks it will be like that, or
So these live sessions, they are scheduled for every Saturday. So every Saturday between 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. I'll be available, and we'll be having these sessions wherein, I discuss if there is any query, and we go through a certain set of 10 questions which are quite similar to the next week's assignment.
okay, okay.
Okay, so if you have found it
Thank you, sir.
If you have found it interesting, I mean, you can join in every Saturday, 5 to 7, till this 12 weeks are over. So that is the timeline. So this is the fourth week. We have more 8 sessions. So let's stay connected. Let's meet.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, Sujit.
Yes, okay, sir. So thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
joining in. Thank you.
Thank
So we are done with the live session. We have no more participants as of now. What I'll go through is I'll just quickly show how and where the content is, because there might be scenarios where certain students are facing certain challenges. So from now on, what I'll be doing is that once the live session is over, I'll just take a time in terms of sharing and, explaining how this portal works. Okay. So you have got this as a course, wherein this is the course title, and it is a brief preview of the course which you can see here. It mentions that, they have brought in and onboarded a lot of centers like GDC, BETEC, IIT, DSSE, and helps in terms of, sharing their experiences and people from these organizations. This is the content and this is the course layout. So from week 1 to week 12, it is a brief summary. Currently, we were discussing the content for week 4, which is the entrepreneurship, innovation and entrepreneurship, and with specific focus to the solar oven case study by which we are trying to help in terms of customer discovery part. Next week, we will be discussing about the biomedical innovation and entrepreneurship, which will be followed by new age entrepreneurship, business model canvas, technology led entrepreneurship, and then certain more case studies. These are certain books and references. So if you get time apart from your daily course of studies or your job, it's great to go through these books. And then, like I mentioned about the certificate in the very beginning of this session, certification is available at a fee of rupees 1000, wherein you will have to come and attend a physical examination. The date scheduled is 28th of October, and I think it is uh, a Sunday. Yes, it is a Sunday. Sorry, it's a Saturday. It's a Saturday, wherein you have two shifts available, 9 a.m. to 12 noon, and then session 2 to 5. This is the criteria which I've already discussed in the presentation, right? So here in this particular web page, you will be able to see a brief preview of the course and the basic details, right? This was week 1 content, and so there are a couple of YouTube videos which are present by which you can see the content. So this is a list of additional learning materials. It was a TED talk. Okay. And then there was quizzes. So the quizzes, if you have already attempted, it will be marked. You will be able to see the score and the correct answers. If there is a wrong answer, you will see that in red. So I think that will be visible to most of you. Coming to week 2, this is how the week 2 content looks like. Lecture 2, handholding for entrepreneurship. And within this, you had another list of additional learning materials wherein, it was taken to a Google Drive. Let me just open it for you, which talks about the Polaroid camera design. So that is a case study. This is the PDF. If you want, you can access it. Then comes week 3. Week 3 was about methodology for innovation, which talked about the 7 concerns by Professor Chakravarti. There was another lecture on team building, a very interesting and fascinating one, wherein a lot of insights were shared in terms of the students, as well as how they can shape up their team, what kind of team size one should have, and why there is a need of diversity in the team. Very interesting session. And then comes the problem statement presentation. So like I mentioned, the IIT Hyderabad students, they presented the problem areas, and they were given feedback on that. So this is the list of additional learning materials. Again, it drives you to Google Drive, where you can click and know more about them. So like you can see this article, as well as this is a very interesting one. I mean, this was a startup on the animal farm, wherein they started Animal. So the mall for animals, wherein you can actually make purchase for buffaloes and cows through an application. So it's a very interesting case, and if you get time, please go through it. It's a very fascinating thing, and how they started, what kind of challenges they faced from their family when they shared this idea of leaving of a very highly paid job, and then pursuing this. So it's fascinating as a tale in terms of motivation. It brings in a lot of motivation to the students in terms of how they can pursue their passion. Then comes week 4. Week 4 content, which was recently published. It talks about the ideas program, and we had Dr. Love Sareen and Professor Chakravarti, who were basically present in the sessions and who were sharing their insights, their feedbacks onto what the students have worked upon. Very interesting and very very insightful feedbacks were given, and I think it has something for takeaways to students, those as well as who are working in jobs and institutions. I think a lot could be learned from these case studies and examples. Then we have this case of solar oven case study, wherein Avinash, who had started this journey as a design project, and then he was later translating it to an entrepreneurship, and he shares the kind of experiences he had faced, how different the two things are. It is not just about the product, but it is basically about the product market fit. And when you talk about that market fit, the customer is very very important. You have to talk to your customers, you have to interview them, you have to understand their needs, their latent needs, and different uh, things through different methodologies of observation and shadowing, and doing detailed interviews. So it's a very interesting study, and it's a very unique concept, and I just hope that it brings out in the market, and it is it is being taken up by the consumers. Then the lecture 8 was about the IT students who were pitching their problem areas, and what is it that they are trying to do, what is it that they are visualizing in terms of concepts and ideas. And again, they were basically being given feedback by both the professors, Professor Sareen and Professor Chakravarti. Here as well, we have a list of additional learning materials. So two of the links are from Steve Black.
I can scale a funnel in 7 days.
And it
Move forward with the name
Okay, so these are the two case study. I mean, if you click on the link, you will be able to understand. And this is the study from the Kettle project. What was there in the market, how they came up with the different. So these was something which was available in the market, and then how they iterated, what were the initial configurations and the prototypes and early sketches, and then how they shaped up the final product. Yeah. So again, if you have time, please go through it. Some very interesting content. The video on the first video on Steve Blank is very interesting, wherein he shares a very tragic kind of an experience in a meeting wherein he was shouted and yelled at, and he was very humiliated, and then he went back, and for 1 year he did that interviews and finding out the issues with the customers and understanding the customers. So that is there. In terms of download videos, if you go, you will be able to have a list of downloaded videos through this particular link. You click on this link, and week wise you'll be able to download. Okay, great. So this could be the another channel of getting the content. Yeah. So week 5 is there. Healthcare innovation. So if you are quite an eager, learner, you can actually, if you have time, you can go through the future content, future weeks content from this particular page. Okay, these are the transcripts. So again, you need to download it. The problem solving sessions, like I mentioned, if you click here, it will be directed to an Excel sheet. This is the Excel sheet. Today's content, I'll be putting it here. All right. And this is the Google Drive by which you can actually go and see all the annotated content. Okay. And ask a question is a facility which is given to all the learners. It's very, very interesting facility. It's a very important feature wherein if you have a question, you can post it here, and it will be visible to all the learners, including me as well as the NPTEL team. And we'll be replying to you, so that you can actually get the responses to your questions, and it will be uploaded as well. Okay, so everybody can see. Going back, uh, when you click here, you will be able to see your progress. My mentor thing is not available. Then review assignments. So I think all these things are clear. If you have not yet registered, this is how you need to register for examinations. Okay, this is how it will be opening up, and you need to confirm your personal info, and then you need to register for the examination. So many of the learners have already registered, but I think there are still a few who have not yet registered. So this is the link wherein you can click and you can register. It will be asking you certain of your background details in terms of your name, your affiliation, your institution, and as well as pictures and scanned signatures and all that for your admit card. So all these things are very much required for you. Okay. So that is it from today's session. I think now we can leave. Okay. And just saving the file so that the PDF can be uploaded. We'll just quickly create a PDF as well. PDF already, I'll upload it so that anybody who is not able to attend, if he wants to go through, can actually go through it. Okay. So I thank you all. I'll stop the recording. Thank you.